All right, what's good, y'all? About to watch this video by Said Thompson. Apparently, he got cut from the NFL after fighting with Jarvis Landry. If y'all know Jarvis Landry, he overly cold. So we're about to see how he, I guess, squandered his opportunity.
Bill Belichick looked at me in my face and told me, "You can do everything right and you still cannot make it in this league." In 2015, I was drafted by the Miami Dolphins. By 2017, I was kicked out of the league. The NFL didn't cut me. I cut myself. Fought my own teammate. I got into it with my head coach in front of the whole team. Then I bounced from team to team to team, and I missed out on multi-million-dollar deals like some of my college teammates did. I had one
Dang, bruh. Oh, his little baby.
chance to set my family up forever, and my wife believed that
I don't want to keep her on the screen, but that's crazy, though. 2015, that was my freshman year, like 8th grade going to 9th grade, bro. This thing was in the league. Holy shit. Crazy how time will fly, bro. And then 2 years later, he's out the league. That's insane.
I would do it, and I blew it. It took me 10 years to get real with myself about that. I knew that I had what it took because I learned.
Damn, so he really just now coming to terms with like all the potential gains he could have made just from like a couple of simple mistakes that he did in the locker room, I guess.
About myself when I was in Snoop Dogg's youth football league as a kid, but I completely forgot about it. So if you don't know me, my name is Said. I was the first to graduate high school in my family, get a Division I scholarship to the University of Minnesota, get drafted to the league. So I was drafted in the 5th round, like I
Bro, he was him. Oh my God. First to do it in his family, go to college, and make it to the league. Like, he was overly special.
said, and they also drafted Devontae Parker, Jordan Phillips, Jamil Douglas, Bobby McCain, Jay Ajayi, me, and then Tony Lippett.
Damn, I know Jay Ajayi. I've seen him before.
It was the same year that Ndamukong Suh signed that 6-year, $114 million contract. Jarvis Landry was also there coming off of his rookie season, and he had just broke the rookie reception record for the Miami Dolphins and also tied 6th in the league. Joe Philbin was the head coach. During the preseason, I did not play well. They were asking me to do things that I didn't do in college, like play nickel and play free safety, but I played strong safety. Asking me to do things that I didn't do in college, like play nickel and play free safety. But I played strong safety in the Big Ten. I just had a bunch of tackles, guarded big tight ends. My speed always kind of got me in trouble because I can run, which means I can guard people. That did not work out well.
Damn, so they was putting him in like different positions that he probably wasn't comfortable with for real, for real. But that speed was just, they said, hey, we gotta use it.
My rookie year. Anything they asked me to do, I tried to do, and I ended up paying for it, and I got released. When I got released,
Ain't that crazy though? Cause like not your freshman year, but your rookie year, if they tell you to do something, you're like inclined to do it. Like you want to keep your job, obviously, and especially if you coming in fresh, like you want to do everything to make the coaches happy. So I don't know how he just ended up getting cut when he's really trying his best to do what they want. But everything's about results. So if you're not producing, it's not looking good.
at least no other teams wanted me, and I had to sign to the practice squad. That was tough being a draft pick, and I did not handle it well. I got into it.
Oh yeah, I guess that would make sense. Coming from a D2, like I played college football D2, and I wasn't even that good. Like I really struggled to make it. Like I was not supposed to play any college sport, but I was really grinding for it. Anyways, like just to even make it on the practice squad, people on my team were like, bro, if I just make it on the practice squad for the Cowboys or you know what I'm saying, for any team, really, they just be grateful. But it's different when you actually get drafted, you go through the whole process, like you actually are like meant to be there. So of course your ego gonna take a huge hit. But for the normal guy, D2, maybe in small D1, that practice squad, ooh, give me that.
With Joe Philbin in front of everybody. We had a joint practice with the Carolina Panthers in Carolina. He said something to me that wasn't that big of a deal. I just was in my feelings and I just made a bad decision with the boss. One day at practice, me and Jarvis got into a fight. We were doing this drill where he had to come and block me and we had to hit. I had to shed him off and tackle the ball carrier. He did not take it well on how we collided and we started fighting and they covered the whole thing.
Damn, that's crazy. That's when you gotta like really be overly professional. Like I remember some guys used to get pissed off in practice when we was playing college ball and shit. I'd be like, bro, I'm not gonna lie, G. Let's get on to the next motion, bro. It's only like in the couple. There's only one situation where I had like anger, like extreme anger. It was with this not tight end, but he was a tackle. He was left tackle, and after every whistle, mind you, I was on like the practice squad, so after every whistle, he just overly was holding my shit, like overly, like past. Even if I got past him, he'd just be holding my shit, like just straight holding. And they blow the whistle, I'll be trying to get back. I'm like, bro, let go of me. He did it 3 times. I had to give that nigga one good pop, knocked his helmet off. I remember that shit. Niggas can't take none of that from me. I needed that.
Their first round pick, Devontae Parker, I was guarding him at practice, and you got to be a professional and guard correctly, and I didn't, and I ended up hurting his ankle when I was trying to practice hard in the NFL. And we're in London.
But you practice team, like, you're not, that's the thing about practice team too, though. Like, you're not supposed to go overly hard. You're just supposed to give a look. You're just supposed to give a look. If you start playing like you want to be a starter, they're going to get on that ass. Even the coaches will get on your ass. They're like, but you're not him. Da-da-da-da. I've seen it so many times.
And we're playing against the Jets. And Ryan Tannehill and the practice squad got into it. I'm on the practice squad. Ryan said something to the practice squad about he hopes that we get a nice practice squad trophy because I think Tony picked off his ball and he was mad about that because it just made him look bad.
See, like, you can't even, because everybody's thinking about themselves, obviously, but you can't even, like, try your hardest on the practice squad. Because if you make the other niggas look bad that are supposed to be playing, they gonna get overly mad. I remember there were like so much complications and arguments in the locker room. Guys would be just having a whole bunch of animosity against your own teammates just because of practice. It's like, bro, we're supposed to be getting better together. Like, iron sharpens iron for the fight on Saturday. Like,
am I happy about everything I said? No. The things went down the way they did? No. But
on that flight back to London, Joe Philbin gets fired. I'll never forget Ndamukong Suh's face and demeanor when they fired Joe Philbin. He was happy as hell. So when Dan Campbell gets hired, the entire energy of the program changes.
Dan Campbell says he wants players to walk the line of playing tough. Today they saw and felt firsthand exactly what that means.
We're doing live hitting drills. That clip that you saw earlier, that was me hitting Jay Ajayi. Now, last time I talked about this on Instagram, Jay saw it and he was frustrated by it. He said next time that I address him to make sure that I call him Super Bowl champion. So, Jay, this is for you. You're a Super Bowl champion, bro. So fast forward through all that, we get to the end of the season.
So new coach comes in. He said, "Hey, we're not playing no games. You're going all out, full speed." Ooh, that's a whole change of direction, man. It's not a joke no more.
And I have a decision to make. I either stay in Miami, go to the Texans, the Raiders, or the Patriots. And I remember when I was trying to figure out where to go, a lot of my teammates were coming up to me being like, bro, don't go to New England because it's super strict over there. You can't do anything. It's
do your job, hard work, be attentive, and put the team first.
all about work. The Texans is like this. If you go to the Raiders, the facilities are bad, but it's chill and you can go out and party and da-da-da-da. I'm just like,
go out and party. Join the Raiders team? That's all? You talking about it's chill, but the facility is not as good, so you got to really take the good with the bad. But then if you go with the Patriots, well, you got to think about it. He was in the league 2015. Tom Brady, get that Super Bowl.
like, what the hell, bro? I'm about to go to New England because I care about the work. So that's what I did. But my time with the Patriots did not last long. I didn't play well in the preseason. It was against the Bears. And I just didn't.
No.
Not last long. I didn't play well in the preseason.
No.
It was against the Bears.
No. It's even worse.
And I just did not have a good game for a plethora of reasons. But at the end of the day, they don't care about your reasoning. I didn't play well. And I wanted to be in New England bad, man. I really, really wanted to play there for many reasons that I'm sure anybody would resonate with. But I was hurt when I got released from there. But when I got...
Dang, bro. Imagine you get released from the best team in the whole league, though. With like, the best player of all time. Crazy.
Release, there's something that I took from that I held on to that I'll never forget. And it's what Bill Belichick said to me. He said, you can do everything right in this league and you still might not make it. So after that, I bounced around to...
That's also with life as well. Because, like, you can do everything right in school. That's what happens to a lot of people nowadays. If you can go to college, you can try your hardest. 4.0, you got all these extracurriculars on your resume. Then it's time to join the job market and it's empty. you're getting no shots, no callbacks. You're getting nothing back. Like, and you did everything right. So that's just how life is. You're just going for the next chapter, see what you can learn within that chapter, and move on. Just keep on learning and adjusting until something hit.
To a few different teams. I went to the Vikings, the Redskins, the Giants, the Cardinals, the Titans, and my career ended when I got hurt in Cincinnati. And for years, I held on to what Belichick said to me because I felt like all those teams didn't give me a fair shot. Like I felt like, oh, like I'm doing everything right and it's just not working out for me.
Damn.
When I played in Snoop Dogg's youth football league growing up, I wasn't good when I first started. And what I did unknowingly is I found a mentor. I started to look at all the other players who were good and I mimicked what they did. The player that I followed, his name was Booga. I looked at everything that he did.
That's low key what I wish I did sooner in life or earlier in life was like really analyze somebody and like see how they did things for real, for real. Because I didn't do a good job of that, to be honest. I couldn't really figure out sports at an early age. I was just too much in the computer. I was too much of a nerd, to be honest. I wanted to play the game. I wanted to learn about the computer, the graphics cards and shit. That's what I was really worried about.
I noticed that he was a single digit number. I noticed that when he ran around the park, he was always in the front. I saw that when we were at practice, he was in front of the line, leading the team chant and leading the jumping jacks. I saw everything that he did. He played in the league for some time. The last team that he was with, I believe, was the Cardinals. So going into my second year as
Damn, so they was in the same youth football league or same team as well, and they both made it to the league. That's crazy.
youth football player, I did everything that he did. I got number 4. I ran across the park and I was the first in line. I started leading the chants and I did all that up to the season and I got a starting spot as a safety. And at the end of that year, at our banquet, they handed out trophies. And you know that when you go to a banquet as a kid, everybody gets a participation trophy. We get to the end of my team's ceremonial part. The coach is giving a speech. His name is Coach Will, talking about a player who has really stepped up his game and has played really well and didn't make excuses. He called my name and he gave me the most improved player trophy. And that trophy changed everything for me because I understood if you see something that you want, you find the things or the people who have done it well, repeat it and make it your own. If I would have took that most improved player mentality to the Dolphins, I believe that I would be playing right now or I would be at the end of my career with a couple of contracts under my belt. I know
A couple of M's in the tank, man. That's crazy. I wonder why he didn't like activate that that perspective sooner. Like it's always good to have somebody to like look up to. That's what I did, especially in college. Like I looked up to there's this one dude. His name was Sam. There's another guy. His name was AK. Rest in peace. He passed away last year. But those are two guys that I was like, damn, I really want to replicate kind of like the athleticism and their ability to play the game. And also like their energy. They had like a lot of confidence and they're always, we were also all like the same height. They were just older than me. I think I was taller than Sam actually. I was taller than both of them. But they were also just jacked too. Like they were big. I used to look up, I was like, damn, these niggas massive, G. I gotta wake up. That was like freshman year and sophomore year, like COVID year type shit. Damn. Crazy time.
that for a fact because that most improved player trophy made me the first to graduate high school, go to college, and get into the league and be the first in many things of my life. When I look back at my NFL career, there were things that I definitely could have did better. There's one thing I wish I really could have did was look for somebody who knew what they were doing, who was a professional, who could teach me how to move around an NFL locker room and an NFL facility. But I didn't do that because I made it, like I made it to the league and I got drafted on top of that. So I felt like I didn't need anybody.
Yeah, I could definitely see that for sure. Like if you get drafted, even though I think he was 5th round, like that's still the top 0.00 percentage of players ever in life. So like it does put like a sense of ego into you. Like you feel like you're that guy, and you do have to come in with ego, especially whenever you're playing a game like football. Like you gotta any game really that you have to perform. You have to come in with a lot of self confidence. Otherwise, it's gonna translate into the field. Like you're not gonna look confident on the field. You're gonna make decisions. you're gonna make bad decisions on the field if you're not confident. So it is like a double-edged sword when it comes to it, because then you don't look up to other players maybe, or you might not connect well with other people because you feel like you're supposed to be in that position that they're in, when you're not even taking into account the amount of work that they put in into their career. So yeah, it's hard, bro. Nobody gives you like a whole game plan. That's why he should have been looking up to the guys.
Couldn't hurt myself because I'm at the place and this team chose me. And from all the things that I've heard, when you're drafted, you have a lot of chances and you get more shots. That just wasn't the case. I wasn't being a professional. You know, I had my time to grieve and be upset and be sad and take the blame for all the things that I did over those years, but I had to pick myself back up. And understanding my strengths and weaknesses is what made me be able to get up and realize that I can be that most improved player.
Yeah, this guy's a smart guy for real. Because I don't think a lot of people would be able to bounce back how he is, especially mentally, because that's a lot of money and opportunity, and especially if you're playing football for all your life, you see it as like not just your golden ticket, but that is your life. Especially whenever it can change it by such a drastic measure. Like millions of dollars in your bank account isn't just for you, it's also for your family and then the generations beyond that, depending on how you use the money. So yeah, I feel like I'd be super depressed. I'd probably be out the out the public like forever, G. I just I think I'd be just too embarrassed, man. But that's where the mental really has to like build this fortitude. So this guy's really mentally strong.
Kid again. When you think about us as men, what we worked our whole lives for when it comes to a job or an identity or a label can really hinder the bigger mission, because we're labeled as that thing, and also at the same time we absolutely love that thing that we're doing. But when we leave and take that helmet off, that number gets given to somebody else, or the badge is ripped off, whatever it is, you can always come back to your new team. That opened up my eyes to understand what I was put on earth for. When I think about all the things that I learned as the most improved player, to high school, to college, to the league, all that stuff was reps in here and in here to do the ultimate thing, which is to leave my family well. And that can sound a little bit contradictory. It could be like, yeah, bro.
Man, that's some major stuff right there, to be honest, because like life is always bigger than any small, we might see trying to make it to the league or make $1 million is like a super big, deal, especially nowadays in our materialistic world. But being able to see past all that stuff and see what actually matters in this life, man, that takes a lot of like cultivating within you. Like, that doesn't just come out of nowhere. Like that's a lot of wisdom, truly. Because whenever you pass away, what's gonna be left? It's only your legacy. Your money's not gonna be there. Your money's gonna go to somebody else, just like the number that he was talking about, or the badge. But what will remain is your family and the generations beyond that, and that's essentially your legacy.
You could have set yourself up with millions of dollars being in the league. I still think about that to this day. I'm not gonna act like that's not something that doesn't bother me, because it does. That's something I gotta live with. But that doesn't mean I can't get those M's now.
Facts.
It's just a different route.
Facts.
And probably not as many M's, but I can get some.
You could potentially even make more M's. Like football, of course, yes, it's lucrative. Yeah, you make a lot of money. But it also comes with a lot of conformity tax. You start living a different way just because your teammates are living a certain way. The money doesn't last forever, for one, and NFL players aren't the richest people in the world. To be honest, he could start his own business and scale it up into $100 million business, and he'd be making like 10 times more than what he potentially would have made. It just depends on the knowledge between him now and him creating that business. It's the knowledge in between.
And I know that to be true. And money isn't the thing that I'm chasing. Money is nothing but a resource that helps me be able to give my kids access to the things they want to do the little fun things that I like doing with my home and renovating and going on trips with my family, it's stuff like that. The highest calling of a man is to lead his family. And you have to understand the areas that you need to work on to be the man that you need to be to lead your wife, your kids, and your community. I could have let my lifelong dream that ended because of my own doing ruin the rest of my life, and I didn't. What I will tell you is that if your career has come to an end, or you're in a transition period, or you're trying to grieve through what it is that you blew up, whether it's in work or your personal life or in your marriage or with your kids, what you have to realize as a man, you have to know your strengths and your weaknesses. And I made something that shows your strengths and weaknesses that I wish I had when I was in the league. And I started to implement this when I had my first daughter, my second daughter, and my third, and being married for 10 years. And I use this to navigate what it is that I need to get better at for myself, for my wife, and for my kids. The key to this whole thing is not to be perfect. It's all about progress over perfection. Being well-rounded is the key. When you think about when you play Madden or 2K and you create a player and you bump up all the stats to 99, that's not real for real life. Players who stay in the league for a long time, men who stay married for a long time, men who stay around their kids and their kids love them, are well-rounded men. They're good in every area. They're able to show up for their families, show up for their communities, and do all the things right because they are good in every area and understand their strengths and their weaknesses. And this is something that you can do for yourself and become well-rounded. So go figure out what your strengths and weaknesses are. It's about 6 minutes. The link is in the description. If you don't want to watch that, you can watch this video about my most improved player trophy and how I was never good at anything, but I made a way. See you in the next one.
Man, that's some major inspiration, really, truly. Because a lot of times you're thinking about yourself and where you are in life, and you're not happy about it, but there's always something to pull from it. There's always something to learn from it. Like him leaving the league was probably the best thing that happened to him, which is like weird to say because he could have obviously made so much millions of dollars, but we don't know whether his mind would have been able to like handle all that money. Like you see it all the time with like young guys and they make a whole bunch of money super early. They're not really prepared for it. Like they end up throwing their lives away, getting into drugs, bad habits, because the money is only a tool to facilitate what you want to do. And if your mental state isn't clear, isn't well rounded, your wants are gonna overtake the discipline, and you're gonna end up wanting to, fall into those dark desires, which end up ruining your life and subsequently your money. So you got to make the right, choice decisions, and always just learn from each and every one of those decisions. Great video, man, by Sed Thompson Jr. Man, already subbed, already liked it. I needed it, man. This is good. Wait, drop a comment in the comments, man. Let me know what y'all think about the video. What are y'all strengths? What are y'all weaknesses? What do you want to improve upon? What was something that you messed up for yourself that could have been really big, but you learned something from it? We all got something like that. I'm gonna catch y'all later. Join the stream.
Back to the video. With over 120